All right, today we're talking about fishing line, monofilament versus fluorocarbon. If you've ever stood in the fishing aisle wondering what the difference is, why one costs way more than the other, or if you're just trying to spool up whatever's on sale, this video is for you. These are two of the most commonly used lines in bass fishing. Both have their strengths and both have their weaknesses, and both can absolutely make or break your day on the water. So let's break it all down, starting with the basics. Monofilament, or mono, is basically a single strand of nylon. It's simple, affordable, and you can find it pretty much anywhere. On the other hand, fluorocarbon, or fluoro, is made from polyvinylidene fluoride. Mono is stretchier. That means it has more shock absorption, which is great in some cases, but not so much in others. It also floats, so if you're throwing topwater baits, that's a big plus. Fluoro, on the other hand, sinks. This makes it better for bottom contact baits like jigs and the Texas rig. It's also more abrasion resistant, which is great for fishing around rocks or wood or anything that might be sharp and cut your line and ruin your day. So let's talk about when to use monofilament. Mono is your best friend when throwing topwater baits, obviously because it floats. It won't pull your lure down deeper than you want it to, and it won't mess up the action. If you're throwing topwater on fluorocarbon, you'll probably spend more time fighting the line than actually fishing. Mono is also great for beginners. It's easy to cast, it has better knot strength, and it's cheaper. If you're new to fishing, save yourself some headache and some cash and start with mono. And here's a little money-saving trick. Use mono as backing on your reels instead of filling the whole spool full of fluoro. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. This is much more expensive, and if it's gonna be on the back of the reel, you're not gonna use it anyways, most likely. So fill that up with mono, save yourself a little bit of money. So let's talk about when to use fluorocarbon. Fluoro is the go-to when you need sensitivity, abrasion resistance, and a strong hook set. If you're throwing jigs, Texas rigs, or even deep diving crankbaits, fluoro is going to give you much better contact with your bait and help you feel those subtle bites. It's also a great choice for finesse techniques. Since it's nearly invisible underwater, fish are way less likely to get spooked. So if you're fishing in clear water or pressured lakes, fluoro gives you an edge. Now let's talk about what's not so great. Fluoro is much more expensive. It has a lower knot strength, and it can be a pain to tie with. If you don't cinch your knots down properly, you'll spend more time popping knots and losing fish left and right. It'll ruin your day. Mono, on the other hand, has more memory. If it sits on your reel too long, it can coil up around the spool and give you a rough time. It also degrades in UV light, so if your line has been sitting out in the sun too long, or it's been baking in your car all summer or something like that, you're probably gonna need to replace it more than you would with fluoro. So at the end of the day, both lines have their place. If you're just starting out or throwing topwaters, go with mono. If you're fishing deeper, need more sensitivity, or dealing with tough cover, fluoro is the way to go. You don't need 10 different setups to catch fish. You can do a lot with just one reel spooled up with either 15-pound mono or fluoro. Keep it simple, learn what works for your style of fishing, and you'll be set. So if you're new to fishing and this helped you make a decision on which line to go with, the next thing you're going to want to need to know is how to tie it onto your lures. So click this box on the screen right here and I'll show you how to tie one of my favorite knots, almost my go-to knot for tying fluoro or mono, honestly, to a lure. Click the box right here and I'll see you in that next video. Thanks for watching.